Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Kim. This is Q&A part 2. I'm in my robe. I'm cold. A lot of stuff, a lot of craziness happening. Someone was murdered, unfortunately, by an ICE agent. And that's where we are. So, it's awful. And like I talked about yesterday, we're very close. We are at the edge. I just saw that the FBI is taking over, which is, like they said, unusual. They keep using these terms, unusual, strange, dangerous, but not doing. Listen, the FBI is hiding evidence from the investigators in the state. They're supposed to be typically things like that. I said when I saw that happen, I said, I'm not an expert in the law, but I do know for a fact that is not supposed to happen. Federal agents aren't supposed to do those sorts of things. And he's going to go to prison. He will go to prison. And what I think the FBI is clearly trying, you see who's the director? He's the worst. He's one of the first few people that need to go. They're going to do what they do. Or at least try to. And then the question is whether or not Minnesota will allow them to. Will they fight them from hiding and protecting this person and hiding evidence? And this is what they're doing. They said we're taking over the investigation. That is hugely inappropriate. And like I said, we can't rely on the system to work the way we want it to work for the most part now. This is where we are. This is where we are. We are beyond process and normality. Nothing is normal. So, anyway, let's get into it because I only have a little bit of time. Let's get into the next question here. So I left off with, what did I leave off with? Okay. Next question is about Mark Kelly. I have to make this bigger. Give me a second. I'm going to strain my eyeballs. There we go. Okay, that's better. Alright, so it says regarding the situation with Pete Hegseth saying that Captain Mark Kelly will be demoted in rank and retirement pay. Telling you, we can't rely. Will they succeed in doing this? If so, I mean, yeah, this is something that's easily overturned. This could be rectified easily. You can't just do that. This could be rectified easily. This thing, even if I think they succeeded actually. But it could be easily rectified. That everything I say here is for entertainment purposes only. Everything I say here is for informational purposes only. Everything I say here is alleged. Even in the comments, I'm really this is a lot of emotion I'm feeling from people, from myself as well. I feel a lot of anger. But his being demoted, that's just petty stuff that could be fixed easily. That's not anything, Ace of Swords, Seven of Pentacles fell out. Oh, I have to shuffle again. Let me shuffle some more. Clear the deck first of all. I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. I hope you're engaging in some self-care. I hope you are, you know, planning things you could look forward to. Even the smallest thing is really, really important. I hope you guys are being well informed about the tarots and things that will affect your daily lives. Things are stressful. Things are stressful, and you know. Okay, Mark Kelly. It's just a petty move, you know. The Mark Kelly stuff, and it's just something that's so dumb. It's just like, okay, he could just get that rectified. Five of Pentacles, Four of, I think I gotta shuffle again. Nine of Wands, Two of Swords, the Fool. Oh, these cards wants it. I could tell the energy is not shuffling enough for the correct way. My mind is very scattered. I don't know why. Yeah, it's definitely a stressful situation. They will succeed in it if they haven't already. I feel like they have. We have the same cards keep coming up, so it's the answer. They're like, Kim, I don't know what else to tell you. Nine of Wands, Four of Pentacles, Nine of Swords. Oop. Very stressful. Two of Swords, Five of Cups, the Fool, Ten of Wands, and lots of endings. Yeah, it'll go through. He'll fight it. It could be easily rectified, but it's stressful. It will affect him. But the Death card is here. It will be fixed. Okay? They're just petty, retaliatory. They're fascists. I realize I'm not naive. I know what country I live in. I do understand that America, you know, they have been imperialistic, engaged in that, you know, sort of thing. I understand that. I understand the history of this country. Well, I understand, you know, where my people, my ancestors, how they suffered because of this country. But I understand humanity and human suffering. It has always existed in the world, even before a Donald Trump. But it's just really to be witnessing it, and to be alive to witness. I'm a millennial, and they call us the burnout, you know, generation. We're the ones who are the most burnt out. I mean, you know, I could see that. I think everyone is stressed though, but to experience symptoms of fascism is like wild. That people live like this. All the people live like this. Have lived like this every day. Every day. And so now we're experiencing it. Are we, you know, the symptoms of it? Controlling the media, hating the media, deregulating things, destructing education system, higher education. And what I'm beginning to see, some people are fighting back and some people are just laying down. Certain colleges, certain, you know, universities are just like, companies I get when they do stuff like that, and they suffer for it. And the universities don't see that they'll suffer too, because people won't go to your school. Unless people will go to school, which is what they want. It's just so... It's not that I think they'll be successful. My problem that I have is people just accepting it. People in power accepting it. People who work at these universities accepting it. People in our... That's how it happens. That's how it happens. So no, I'm not being negative. I know we'll get through this, but I always have to be real. I always have to be open and honest of what I can't pretend. I can't just like not speak what I sense. The thing is like, I'll get into that. Let's get to the next question. Y'all know I like to talk. Anyway, next question. It would be interesting. No, I'm not gonna answer that. I'm not gonna answer that. The TMN just cut funding to Democratic states for child care. Only them states. Of course they did. What will the results? They're suing them. They'll sue them, and they'll be successful. $10 billion, from what I understand, was cut. The Department of Health and Human Services. And federal funding. Child care, family assistance, social services, in 5 states, right? California, Colorado, Illinois, Minnesota, and New York. They have already threatened lawsuits. They will move forward with them, and they will win. It's unprecedented that a president, an administration is doing that. Unprecedented. Let's take a look. Unprecedented. And it'll be fine. This jumped out. The Empress. They will sue, and Trump administration will lose. Millions and millions of people. It's so, because the thing is that he knows he can't gain full control that way. They will win. Democrats, once they sue them, if they haven't started already the process. He can't control every state, especially Dem-led states. So this is what he does. He tried to do it in 2020 with the pandemic and saying, we're not going to give you medicine. It's just so... It's infuriating. The tower's on the bottom. 6 of Swords. From chaos to calm. The Lovers, 1, 2, 3 major cards. You can't, it'll be a battle they will win. It's just crazy. I don't know. We, the people, have to save ourselves. Like I've always been saying. We have to say no they have to say no. When I heard what happened in Minnesota, I said, okay, well, Minnesota, what are you going to do about it? What will you do? What will individual states do? Is where the key is. Leaning less on the federal government, which is like, everyone pays taxes to these programs. Though they're essentially withholding our money for what? Wars? Yeah, that's the only thing or their pockets. Withholding those monies from those states, 5 states, is punishment, retaliation, because they're saying no. And that's what needs to be done. Because quiet as it's kept, I was this morning, I guess meditating. My mind was just, thinking about everything, and I said, there are important people. There are people with a lot of money and people who hold a lot of power, even in our governmental system, wants Donald Trump to be there. I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all, but that's the only thing that makes sense, because he should not have been able to run at all. He shouldn't even been able to be on any ballot. His name should not have appeared. So to me, that tells me they let this happen. Who they is, I don't know, but they got a lot of money and they're very powerful. And they are in the government. So. Even though I still hold that he cheated, they let him through the door. They let him through the door. All right, next question. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. Hey, Kim, Happy New Year. Okay, yeah, this is the one with the million questions. It's like 12. It's like 9 questions. Let's see which one I'm going to answer. Airplane travel issues, spring and summer. I've been telling people don't fly. I'll go down real quick. I'm not going to do too much, but they got these people working overtime hours. They're sleepy. They're having very important jobs. Don't fly. I mean, you can if you want, but I'm just telling y'all that they got people sleeping they've got people working double hours, because you know why? Is the people were fired. They got people working so many hours that have like jobs that are involved in safety and like air traffic control. So, if y'all want to risk it, then risk it. If you want to, I'm sure there are people there doing their jobs, but I wouldn't. Do I see anything? No, I don't see anything. But we have to work within the physical boundaries of our world. So I don't know if I would fly spring or the summer. Gas shortages, yes, in the summer. Job market, no, worse. Natural disasters, when and where, girl? When and where? Food shortages, yes. But yes to natural disasters. Housing market, no price drops. Rent, no to no. Things will be No. We're in a bad space. I'm not being negative, I'm being honest, okay? We're in a bad space. Hi Kim, when will we start to fix this? You asked me that question. I get asked this question a lot. When will we start to fix this? And I don't have an answer. I see things gradually getting better, Six of Cups. In the next 2 years, I see things better. I could say that. But we have a lot to go through. We have a lot of fighting to do. And I don't mean like, well, Trump will be alive 2 years from now. He's not even, I'm just saying in general, we have a lot that we have to deal with and go through and recognize and expose people being exposed. In 2 years, things will be better. The Hierophant on the bottom, Six of Cups, the Star, the World, Three of Swords, the Six of Wands, Three of Pentacles, and the Hermit. Six of Cups, the Star, I want y'all to understand, like, my gifts, what I understand, don't always work that way. Like, when and where will I see an earthquake? I can't, I'm not that kind of psychic. Six of Wands. Sometimes I could, but that's, Hermit. The Hierophant on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4 major cards. Things will get better. We'll come full circle. We have a lot to learn in society and a lot to lose. And the real question is not when it will be fixed. We don't want it fixed. We want it changed. And is 2 years the answer for fixed? Let's see. My guides say 2 years to be fixed, but my question is about change. But I'm going to ask, is 2 years about things being fixed? No. Okay. Clear center. Is 2 years about change? Yes. We don't want it fixed. We want it changed. Okay. 2 years. And it's not about Trump. Next question. Hi Kim, hope you're doing great. I'm great. Being since I only get my news here and never watch it on my TV. With the major networks because of some of the biases and distortion. My question is about Unhinged, Miller and his evil. Will he ever be held accountable legally by America for all the ugly? Whew. That's a good question. That's a good question. Stephen Miller. I'm telling you guys, he is spiritually a troll. creature. He is, every time I peek into his energy, that is the image. I don't think he's human. I'm not sure. His essence isn't. That's the creature every time. I'm not just saying that because I don't like this man. I don't see that when I look at Kash Patel. I don't even see that when I look at Trump. But when I look at this man's energy, underneath his skin is a troll. A creature. And I don't know why. I don't know if my abilities is showing me him that way, because that is the best way I could like but it's something. Will he get legal consequences? I did read on what would happen to him. He's just gonna end up, a few months ago, he's just gonna end up somewhere in a corner of the internet. But people don't like him. He's really abhorrent, and he is something about his spirit and his essence is creature-like. It's not human. It's very strange. Yeah, his end is... Ace of Wands, Death, Ten of Swords, Temperance, Seven of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. Where's that 7? No, it's 9. Okay. 8 of Cups, 10 of Cups, 3 of Wands. The answer is yes, but a 10 of Swords there, in between the Death card and Temperance. He definitely will be forced to leave his position, this thing he's doing. It's just very strange. Let me ask that instead. Let me ask. Will he be forced out of his position? That's what I really want to know. I'm not sure if he'll get legal consequences, because I see him in a corner of the internet that no one is watching. That's where I see him. Like, he is very extreme. No one likes him. Strength, 6 of Swords, 10 of Swords again. The Tower, yeah. And the Queen of, yes, Queen of Swords. Strength. See, it appears the energy here is saying it's going to happen by his own doing. Like, we don't even, not much, maybe there's a need to go to legal consequences, you know. Things are going to fall apart. He's in a great position now. 6 of Swords. 10 of Swords. Someone may betray him. the Tower, Queen of Swords, all swords, 3 swords, Tower, and Strength. And it's saying slow and steady. Like, the things that he is doing is his undoing. Like, a lot of them. Like, their reckoning will come. They always have the Tower. He has a Tower here. It's like the more he gives to the universe, the more it comes back. And that's why I think I keep seeing him as that creature. Like, and the creature looks so miserable. Like, picking up rocks from one end and just putting them in a pile on the other end. I don't know what that is that I'm shown. But every time you guys ask about him and I peek into his energy, that's what I see. That green, skinny, big belly, stringy hair, gap teeth, big nose, tall troll under a bridge, and they just lumber rocks back and forth. That's really weird. I don't want to sound like I'm like delusional, but that's what I see. What is that called? Someone tell me, what is that? It's not a metaphor. I know what a metaphor is, but this thing, every time I associate, or it's like that, I've never had that happen to me before. When I peek at someone's energy and I see, like, I get feelings when I look at someone's energy, like, what's his name? Clarence Thomas. I don't like reading him because his energy is like sludge. It's like dirty mud. It's just nasty. So I don't like it. Like, I see sludge, I feel it. But this, when I think about Miller, I get that image in my head of a creature. It's lumbering, miserable, sort of like, I'm a troll. I don't know what trolls say, but that's what he looks like. I'm being serious. Please tell me what that is. Okay. But yeah, his downfall is on schedule. Slow and steady, okay? Steady. More stuff he adds on, the more complete destruction for him, okay? When you use a pendulum, who is moving it? The crystal's energy, no, or your spirit guides? My spirit guides. That's who I'm talking to. Some of them I know directly, by some of them, a lot of them I don't know. I'm not moving it, as you can see, Let me see here. Let's do a simple one. My name is Kimberly. Let us center. My name is Rachel. Wait, hold on. Let's do that again. My name is Kimberly. My name is Kimberly. Okay, you got it right this time. Am I moving it? Clear the center. My name is Rachel. Sometimes it doesn't move. Sometimes it does. Most times it does. My spirit guides, I feel, are very tricky in that they don't give me the answer. They give me the answer that I need. You know, they don't give me. Sometimes the answers aren't even straightforward, and I have to figure it out. And sometimes I will immediately or way down the line, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's that's what you mean. Okay, next question. Will this ICE killing be able to bring Trump and his cabinet down, or just another news cycle? Well, Justice came out. Justice and Queen of Wands. King of Wands. Justice jumped out first. Will it bring down the administration? No. But they're gonna I feel Justice, King of Justice and the King of Wands. I don't think Minnesota is going to let them do what they want to do, which is cover this up and pretend it didn't happen and protect this person. They're going to have to sacrifice that person who shot that woman. It's going to get worse in terms of people's reaction. They're gonna have to give this person up, is what I sense. Not because it's the right thing to do, but because the pressure will be too much. They're not gonna think it's worth, you know, because it's bad. You have someone that they're not lawfully. I saw that someone drew up articles of impeachment against Kristi Noem. Will that do anything? Those are the real questions too. This person needs to be held accountable, and will they be held accountable is what we have to look at. Justice came out. 6 of Pentacles. Will enough pressure be placed on them, in order for change to happen, in order for a real consequence to happen? And who will put the pressure? What will the people do? This is it's on tape. It's on video. People will record it, and so many people saw what happened. It's not going to be another news cycle. But Six of Cups. Lessons from the past coming into the present. Will the killer get consequences? Remember, Justice came out. Knight of Wands, Queen of Swords, the Sun, 8 of Pentacles, 3 of Swords, 4 of Swords, 8 of Cups, 9 of Swords. Yeah. It's gonna be too much. They're gonna sacrifice him and say, look at this was unacceptable. What happened? It's on video is the problem. And they're not smart enough. They could just be blatant and just ignore the law. They could do that. They can, but they won't. It looks too bad. Okay? But what I do hope is that Christy Noam gets her due. This is under your watch, baby. You let these people do what they want. You have unqualified criminals who are living on the edge of society, and you let them take these jobs. I know you didn't do any background checks. I know y'all didn't. Y'all took anyone and everyone. That's bad. That's bad because it's on, people have it on their phones. They have it on, it's all over the internet. Christy Noam. Five cups on the bottom for her. Like I said, bye. Night. The same cards for her. Very interesting. The same cards for her. Choose and cups and Eight of Pentacles, and her hopes that, oh man, I hope that I don't get sacrificed for this. All these laws I'm breaking. Knight of Cups, all the cups she has. Page of Wands. Was the woman, she didn't even look, you know. Knight of Cups, Ace of Cups, Page of Wands. Queen of Cups. Ten of Wands. Page of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles. She knows her downfall is steady. Either she's going to be sacrificed to, or that killer. Someone will need to be sacrificed. Someone. Or they could just lie. I don't think they will do that. I mean, you know, they do that. But they could just, it's going to be bad if they do that. And I don't know. Hey Kim, hope you're doing good. What time is it? Okay. When channeling Musk energy, you said he kept saying my precious. I remember that. In 2016, after Trump attacked Syria in cyber hacking group called the Shadow Brokers posted a message to Trump like it was read by Golem from Lord of the Rings. Was Musk behind that? This is referenced in a video, the greatest hack in history. There is something to this. Was he a part of it? I don't put anything past anyone anymore. Anything's possible. We live in a strange world. Okay. All right. The greatest hack in history. There's a card that's flipped up. Page of Swords and the Eight of Wands. I can't ignore those. The Fool, Seven of Wands, the Star, Queen of Pentacles, Two of Cups. He might have. Five of Swords and the Eight of Wands. I don't know. I don't really sense a connection necessarily. But there's something, he could do it. I feel like yes. I feel like maybe funded it. I don't know, but it's something he would just do for fun, not for any other reason, just because he's, he is dangerous because he does things just for fun. He doesn't do it. I mean, obviously money is always, but ultimately his point of existence is to, like I said, he has a lot of emotional problems. Elon Musk, he has a lot of problems, so he's not well mentally. So he just does this sort of stuff. I was bored, and or it's just fun, like meddling in elections and all of that sort of like villainous shit. So he has something to do with it. Yeah, he has something to do with it, because it feels like the energy, the cards, the Page of Swords, the Three of Swords, the Queen of Swords. It really feels like the Fool is there. It really sort of feels like he was engaged in some sort of behavior related to it. Interesting. Okay. Next question. I gotta go soon. Is Trump gonna be successful in taking over Canada? No. No, he's not going to take over Canada. The second question, you'll have to ask me that on a live. That takes a lot of focus to trap into someone who passed away. Okay. What's the outcome for Nick Shirley, a YouTuber who is behind the Minnesota fraud story? And you know what's they take that story and as an excuse to just lie. Especially JD Vance. Oh, I hope he becomes president. I know that sounds strange, because when he does, I should say if, because it feels like an if as well. If he does, he's going to have a terrible time. He's going to be ripped to shreds. He doesn't have the structure for a presidency, the emotional foundation to be president of the United States. He's going to learn. He is the oh my God. He needs to be taught a lesson, and through that he needs to see how much people despise him and how weak he is. That's why I said I hope he does, because it's being president. You have to. He can't. It will be a bad time for him, and that's what I wish for him. I wish a bad time. I'm not gonna lie, you know? I'm not gonna just pretend that I'm floating on high all the time. I wish the worst. I don't wish you your, harm in that way, but like, I want you humiliated. I want you to not know what you're doing. I want you to just be ripped to shreds. Because he's not authentic or genuine, and half of the things he says out loud he doesn't believe. What was the question? Nick Shirley. What will happen to him? He's gonna have to defend a lot. He's gonna have to defend a lot. I don't know. I don't pay attention to these people because they're not important to me. I'm sure what's gonna happen. The world came out. What will happen to him? Well, fortune. The things will be. His luck will turn. People are gonna disprove what he's saying by doing their own research. Actual like documentary, like someone, a researcher, We have the Three of Cups, Eight of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, Four of Cups, Nine of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, and the Knight of Cups. He'll be forced to face his... Anyway. Someone's just going to do the job better than him. That's about it. Someone just do the job better than him, and he'll be okay, What else is gonna happen? Was he a white man? He'll just do he'll just go on to success. People will watch him. But he won't get any real consequence, for his work. He'll just sort of people will just dispute if they haven't already. Yeah, he's not even a real journalist. He's a YouTuber. Nothing to be taken serious. I don't take these people serious. Anything that they say, any research they have done, it's not based on any real, reason or critical inquiry. So he'll just continue being famous in the MAGA world. And people, they believe anything. The stuff that is said, and everyone reacts to it so much. Like, I can't believe Trump said that. Or I can't believe J.D. Vance said that. Blatant lies and everything. They're not talking to us. They're talking to them. They're talking to their base because their base believes the things about immigrants and that they get health care for free and that they get child care for free, and that's why you have to pay so much. Literally. And they believe it. They believe the lie. So they're not talking. People like in those worlds, they just in a feedback loop of wrong information, misinformation, hate, lies, And so it's not important. I didn't even know who that was. And I think I just heard about him like yesterday. Those people are not important. They're important in their world, not in mine. And even in the States, like Minnesota, even, or New York, or what have you. They know what's going on in their state. These people don't know. A YouTuber doesn't know the stats of fraud. You will well see this, who is frauding welfare and who actually is frauding. You will see the numbers and the truth if you actually sat down and read a peer-reviewed article or research or requested even the information from the state itself, and you will well see who is the population, who exactly, or news reports or anything, like well documented, researched information. So, I say don't give those people your energy. Don't, take care of yourselves. That was the last question, by the way. Take care of yourselves. It's a lot of energy in the air. It's a lot of hecticness. We're going to get through this. We will get to the other side. And humanity, we have a lot to learn. And it's not about whether things are, when will things be fixed. It's really about when will things change. And I think we need a surge of not reactivity, but action. We need to say no more. We need to, and there are ways you could say no. Doesn't always mean like I was joking yesterday, kind of, throwing tomatoes in. I think we're there. I would like to see that, but anyway, we'll be okay. We have a lot of lessons to learn, though. We have to be the ones to change this. We can't rely on the system right now. Obviously, go out and vote and do those things. Don't think like, oh, it's helpless or hopeless, or they're going to cancel elections, or that's not. You can't do that. I don't think that like I said, that big cheating thing was a one time deal. So it'd be tough to do it again, but we'll be okay. Like I said, it'll get worse before it gets better. I don't think, as long as the states continue to put restrictions on what ICE can and can't do, and create laws and say no, it's the best way to fight, because states govern themselves for the most part, and I think that's what's going to be happening more and more. So we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, just take care of yourselves. Take care of your family, of those you trust, whomever you call family. Make sure you're checking in on each other. Make sure you are saving up. Make sure you're well informed about the tariffs. There's a lot of us. I didn't get into that, but we'll be okay. Know that to get to okay, there has to be discomfort. It's just the way it is. A lot of people are used to not being uncomfortable, and now everyone's uncomfortable. So we will get to where we need to be. Okay, guys? All right. Today is Thursday. I'm going to see you maybe tomorrow. Maybe. Depends on how I feel. Okay? And like this video if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't. Again, I am offering personal readings again. The link is there, so you can request one if you want, or you can email me moonlightergy15@gmail.com and I'll send you the link. Okay guys, bye. I have to go. See ya.